Today was the biggest leap forward in XRP ledger history from raw capability. And what it really means, we're not supposed to discuss, we're not supposed to notice. You have to look under the headlines to truly understand how big this really is. There's a lot of huge news today. First and foremost, XRP Ledger EVM Sidechain is live. XRP Ledger's biggest leap forward. Ethereum tools meet XRP fast, cheap payments, all in one ecosystem. If you don't think this is a game changer, I don't know what to tell you. Wait till you see how much building's on the other side of this. The XRP Ledger EVM sidechain extends the capability of the ecosystem without changing the fundamentals that make XRP reliable. That's a quote from David Schwartz. You see, all of these systems have modular buildouts. You have to use sidechains. You have to use layer 2s with Ethereum. So why not keep the layer 1 fast, cheap, and efficient if you're going to have this modular build out anyway? It's actually quite sensible. You'll be able to deploy Solidity smart contracts via MetaMask, Hardhat, XRP. XRP is the native gas token. Unlike the Ethereum blockchain, where you have all sorts of other ancillary tokens you're using. No, not here. It still is XRP. That is the fuel that makes this sucker tick. 25 plus validators, POA consensus, fast block times, like always, low fees. This is what the future looks like. Built on Axelar for cross-chain connections. And again, this is going to connect 80 plus chains. One ecosystem, one financial hub for the world, decentralized technology. XRP Ledger is now a true cross-chain DeFi hub. Institutional grade though, infrastructure with mass market interoperability. Anything, and I mean anything you can build on Ethereum can now run on the XRP Ledger with faster speeds, lower costs, and access to XRP's deep liquidity, which is just gonna get bigger and bigger over time. You haven't seen anything yet here. New developers, more liquidity, DApps are arising, expanding XRP far beyond just payments. You know, the future of DeFi, really the future of finance, the original vision of this blockchain. Get this, this is odd, but I'm telling you, it's bullish. The first XRP ETF, it might not be an XRP ETF. What the heck do I mean with that? Grayscale's digital large cap ETF, GDLC. Looks like it's getting ready to launch. We see SEC approval for GDLC as a spot ETF looks imminent. A first of its kind multi-asset ETF in the United States. 80% Bitcoin, 11% Ethereum, 4.6% XRP. Also includes Solana and Cardano. When you look at this, a lot of investors, as they start to dip their toes into the broader crypto market, the big investors, they're going to want to anchor that investment to Bitcoin, sure, but they're going to get exposure. And they're going to look at this fund and say, wow, XRP's outperforming everything else. You don't think they're going to want, after a couple quarters, direct access to XRP? Yeah, bet they will. Expect this to serve as a trial run for single asset spot ETFs for XRP, Solana, ADA, under a regulated structure. Now, here's the only problem with this product here. And Grayscale does this, and this is why they keep losing time and time again. Expense ratio, 2.5%. That's far too high, I think, in my opinion. We'll see what other ones are. We see Crane Shares now. They filed for a very similar multi-asset ETF. I don't know what the expense ratio is, but we see XRP makes 14% of this ETF, and it has a higher XRP weight, and watch it, it's probably going to perform better, I bet you. So this is really interesting. It also expands to include Doge, SWI, Link, Stellar Lumens, and HBAR. So a little bit more coverage here. Hopefully that gets across the finish line, but these multi-asset ETFs are going to be really, really exciting, and I think they're going to be popular. XRP, Smart Money sees what's coming. The banks are next here. Tom Lee, I don't know if you've seen him today on the news, but he was saying, you know, banks issue stablecoins on Ethereum, and they're going to have to buy and stake Ethereum, and this is going to make Ethereum a world reserve asset. Yeah, this is bullish for ETH, absolutely. Don't get me wrong, but this is what everyone's missing. When banks move in, fees skyrocket, bottlenecks appear, and they'll need faster, cheaper, scalable rails that actually work at a global scale. That's where XRP comes in here. 12 years of seamless uptime, built for institutional grade compliance, fast, efficient, battle tested. We know all of this. Ethereum, it might be the first stop, the trial grounds for banks, but the serious money, the money that needs true settlement infrastructure, that lands on XRP. This is bullish. The shift is coming. And get this, for in a very similar way to what Tom Lee is saying about Ethereum, banks are going to need XRP directly, banks and institutions. Liquidity, market depth, operational efficiency, cost reduction. Holding XRP allows banks to pay transaction fees and ensure smooth operational flows, avoiding market volatility, risk management and hedging, treasury diversification, and speculative upside. For these reasons, we're going to see banks, financial institutions, corporate entities, they're going to hold XRP directly along with Ethereum and other crypto assets. Best believe it. But, you're going to see a whole new market here for this asset class. Banks are coming. XRP is poised to be at the center of the next phase of global finance. Partial investment asset, partial utility asset for using in the real world. Eleanor Terrett says Bloomberg has upgraded their chances of seeing a Litecoin, a Solana, and XRP ETF this year, 95% across the board. This year, it's imminent. It's going down. They don't miss much. Look at this, though. You see now it's about using blockchain. Look at this list of people building on Ethereum. Robinhood, PayPal, Visa, Stripe, Sony, Fidelity, JP Morgan, Starbucks, Nike, Adidas, MasterCard, Reddit, Ernst & Young, and Shopify, and there's quite a bit more. They're going to be going multi-chain as well. So they'll be coming to the XRP ledger, Cardano blockchain, whatever it is where that utility is that they need. They're not going to be myopic. They're not going to say, well, they're not Hinman 2.0 here. They don't care what blockchain they're using. They're going to go to the utility. Yes, they're starting with Ethereum. You see that list. It's as impressive as it gets, but you don't think now that there's clarity, now that they're actually building the system up, a lot of these names, all of these names, and many more are going to be coming over to the XRP ledger with this new functionality, with the EVM sidechain. You best believe they are. The crypto game is getting crazy. Raul Paul saying, I did say corporate world would generally choose Ethereum first. Something we've been talking about on this channel for quite a while. Was obvious, but it won't be exclusively Ethereum, and he's absolutely correct. Lastly, be ready for it. If you are a Link2 investor tomorrow, John Deaton, he's going to explain why he called the Link2 situation a total cluster F. Not a good situation here. About 11.5 of the 13 to 14,000 customers on this platform, they hold SPVs and Ripple stock here. He's been told that 4,000 to 5,000 of those invested in SPVs are non-accredited investors. Not good at all. A total and complete nightmare. He's also been told that the SEC Enforcement Division is heavily involved, as well as certain other three-letter agencies. Not good. He's going to relay everything he knows as of now. 3 o'clock tomorrow, live on X. I'm not going to speculate on it. Just hope everyone's investment capital is safe. I'll hear what he has to say, and I'll relay it to you. I don't want to sensationalize this issue. It's very serious. I just hope for all of you, you get all your money back, all your gains you're entitled to, and they do so quickly. Let me know what you think down below. As always, please like, please subscribe. The revolution will be televised right here on Jungle Link.